Today on Channel 8 News, we'll be taking a look at safety concerns for students on college campuses, as well as updates on Manhattan's recent park renovations.
We'll also be giving you some safety tips for those commuting on mopeds, all coming up next on Channel 8 News.
Not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
A family that represents a diverse.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Bree Smith.
And I'm Taylor Corley. K-State football player Hunter Rison was indefinitely suspended from the team 2 weeks ago, following charges of domestic battery. Although Rison was originally set to appear in court yesterday morning at Riley County District Court until the 19th, he will not be appearing in court until the 19th of June at 9 a.m. After the alleged victim and Rison both obtained attorneys, Riley County Magistrate Judge James Keppel agreed to push back the hearing. Following Rison's arrest for domestic battery on April 19th, the victim filed a temporary protection from abuse order, according to the Collegian. According to the Wichita Eagle, Rison's attorney has since countered with a petition from what the victim had filed against him.
Channel 8 News went to the Riley County Clerk to inquire more information on the case, but this information is sealed due to the ongoing investigation. Several college campus shootings have been reported in the media throughout the country lately. This past Sunday, a person was seen holding a gun on K-State's campus, leaving students concerned for their safety.
Last Sunday, around 11 p.m., a minor was seen on K-State's campus carrying multiple guns. K-State freshman Rowan Jones had just gotten back from the movies with a friend when he discovered the suspect at the Z-Lot parking lot by Moore Hall.
He starts walking towards us, and as he gets closer, you can sort of see that he has, a revolver on his hip, and then in his hand he's holding an AK. And he walks up to us and he says, "Hey, can I borrow one of you guys' phone?" And so we oblige him because when a man with two guns tells you to let them use your phone, you kind of do it.
The suspect turned out to be a 14-year-old carrying an AK-47 and a revolver. The suspect was taken into custody by the Riley County Police Department near 17th and Ponce and was arrested for criminal possession of a weapon by a felon and criminal use of a weapon. The juvenile was then transported to the North Central Regional Kansas Juvenile Detention Facility. If you ever see someone doing anything suspicious and feel like you're in danger, just push the button on one of these emergency poles that can be found all across campus, and a police officer will come and help. With all of the campus shootings recently, it's important to be aware of your surroundings and watch out for suspicious behavior. Riley County Police Officer Rachel Pate says to contact the police even if you don't know for sure if that person is involved in criminal activity.
We would rather go out there and check it out, make sure everybody's safe, than to find out information later that it could have been prevented. So definitely call 911, get law enforcement out there, explain the situation to them, and if you're willing to talk with us, that actually can give us a lot of information.
In Manhattan, for Channel 8 News, I'm Alex Gailey.
The same night this incident took place in Manhattan, 2 Washburn University football players were shot at an off-campus party hours after one was announced being drafted by the New York Giants.
On Wednesday, the Kansas State House of Representatives and Senate met in Topeka after a break for the spring. On the table for each chamber was a variety of bills and resolutions. Channel 8 reporter Kaylee McLaughlin has a few things you should be looking out for as the session resumes.
Thanks, Taylor. One specific resolution out of the House Committee on Federal and State Affairs called for the United States Congress to call a convention for drafting amendments to the Constitution to limit federal power. Of the many grievances expressed in the resolution, one specifically called out the federal government for ignoring proper interpretation of the Constitution. For such a convention to take place, 2/3 of the 50 state legislators would have to make an identical application to the United States Congress. Another topic that was anticipated for this session was the prospect of Medicaid expansion in Kansas. Action made by the House before the break sat at the Senate but ultimately failed to continue by one vote on Wednesday. CanCare has been a hot-button issue these last few months, marked with protests from students that have resulted in a lawsuit against a few state House officials. Some demonstrators returned to Topeka Wednesday as the session opened in support of the action that ultimately stalled on the Senate floor. As the program operates now, it provides health care to more than 400,000 Kansas residents. If the program were to be expanded, it would offer an estimated 150,000 more low-income families access to health care. Something to be aware of moving forward is the 2020 census. In April, Governor Laura Kelly signed an executive order creating the Kansas Complete County Committee. Population information gathered by the census will be used to shape state legislative districts as well as decide how many seats Kansas will hold in the U.S. House of Representatives for the next decade. On Friday, the Kansas Supreme Court decided for the first time on the right to abortion in the state. In a move that shocked many, the court ruled that the state constitution provides the right for a woman to decide to have an abortion, meaning that even if Roe v. Wade is overturned by the United States Supreme Court, women in Kansas could still opt to end a pregnancy. This case dates back 4 years when the Sam Brownback administration signed a law prohibiting certain kinds of second trimester abortions. Kansans for Life almost immediately opposed the ruling. Moving forward, pro-life groups in Kansas are looking to pass a constitutional amendment that would override the right to an abortion in Kansas. Such a motion would require a 2/3 vote of each chamber and would then be put to a statewide vote. Taylor?
Thanks, Kaylee. Recently, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services released a rating for Via Christi Hospital here in Manhattan. That committee found that Via Christi scored a rating of 2 out of 5 stars when only looking at patients who are insured through Medicaid and Medicare. On the review website, Via Christi is on the low side of most patient surveys, including patients who reported that their nurses always communicated well. Via Christi's rating was 76%, while the national average was 80%. Via Christi's Bob Koppel states that while the review is low, other review boards have given them high marks.
So the STAR survey only reflects certain services, and it reflects certain, and only the Medicare patients. So we tend to look at everybody here. We don't actually pay attention to what kind of insurance you have when you're a patient of ours. So for example, like Blue Cross Blue Shield has, for a couple years, actually recognized our OB unit as being as receiving their distinction or their highest award for quality.
Up next, we'll be looking at what renovations the Manhattan Park is looking to achieve.
And even though enrollment at K-State has dropped, we'll see how the university has seen a spike in a certain community.
This was my first time taking an online course, and well, it went really, really well. It really did not feel like an online course for me. It felt like we were in a classroom talking and discussing and collaborating with each other. It's a renowned university, and I really take pride in calling myself a Wildcat, and I'm really proud that I'm a K-State alumni now. So I think it adds up a lot of value that I'm from K-State.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our pool.
Manhattan is thinking about renovating its city park in many different ways. The city started putting plans together back in 2015, and now they have a master plan. Reporter Alec Madrigal has the story.
The City of Manhattan is set to approve the possible master plan in the fall. Every 10 to 15 years, the city looks at renovating its parks plan. Throughout the development of the master plan, the city has been looking at input and concerns the community has about the park.
For sure, from what we heard from a lot of the public, is they didn't want a drive-through through City Park, essentially. And the plan kind of addresses that. We do try to minimize that interaction between the vehicles and pedestrians and bicyclists.
If the plan is approved in the fall, the City of Manhattan will be shutting down this road right here, Central Park Road, in order to stop traffic from driving through the park, which will in turn make it safer for children. If everything in the plan is put through, the grand total of the project is estimated to be about $4.3 million. Currently, the city is working on a privately funded project that is also being used to improve the area in front of the Johnny Call statue.
Yeah, just across the street, Johnny Call, the Johnny Call Plaza, they're looking to improve, create a plaza essentially around Johnny Call, make it a little bit more of an attraction, somewhere people could go and take pictures and such, and so that was a community-driven project.
Look out for changes in the next coming year to the Manhattan City Park. In Manhattan, Alec Madrigal, Channel 8 News.
The city park's master plan will be discussed and voted on in the fall, and if passed, the improvements will be made in small stages throughout time.
The Diversity Office at K-State has recently pushed for more recruitment and retainment for Hispanic students on campus. Channel 8 reporter Luis Villarreal has the story.
Junior Francisco Cardosa is one of the many people who has noticed the rapid increase of Hispanic students on campus.
I'm seeing more and more Hispanics come to K-State. I'm seeing it, and to me, it's just like it makes me feel like a lot better. It's like there's like a lot more opportunities for them, and I just hope it keeps on going like that. Keep on coming.
K-State has seen a steady drop in enrollment numbers since 2014. However, the Hispanic student population has increased by 4% this last year.
That's an important part of our message, to make sure that Hispanic, Latino, and specifically undocumented students feel welcome here at this great university. So it's important for K-State to be responsive to all kinds of markets, but we're particularly interested in increasing our enrollments among Hispanic, Latino students.
The administration is aware of the increase in Hispanic graduation rates across high schools in the state of Kansas. That is why they have made it a priority to offer as many opportunities as they can to its Hispanic students.
The administration is absolutely committed to the continued growth of our multicultural student population and making sure that every student feels valued as a part of the K-State family.
Even though Pat Bosco will be retiring at the end of this year, he says the support for the Hispanic students on campus will not stop anytime soon.
Well, it's important to recognize that my authority and responsibility comes from the president of the university. President Myers is firmly committed to Hispanic, Latino recruitment and retention, as well as responding to undocumented students and families. So that's not going to go away.
In Manhattan, I'm Luis Villarreal, Channel 8 News.
The Hispanic community, along with the entire campus community, will soon have a new inclusive space with the new Multicultural Student Center that will arrive in 2020. Channel 8 News reporter Olivia Bergmeyer is live on campus with more on the plan.
Thanks, Taylor. We're at the K-State Student Union right in front of the new Morris Family Multicultural Student Center where they're going to break ground this summer. I'm here with freshman Black Student Union member Heidi Carr. So, what facilities are you hoping for in the new Multicultural Student Center?
Yeah, so last month during our regular Black Student Union meeting, we all agreed on a dance studio, a few board meeting rooms so we can have our meetings inside there. We also agreed on lots of study rooms and a full kitchen, so when we have events, we can just like cook there. So really excited for that.
Oh yeah, okay, that sounds really awesome. Those all sound like really great facilities to have in this new center.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on having this?
So I feel like it's going to be a home away from home. It's like we have our own place to call home for the African American students, for the Asian American students, the Latin American students, and more so. It's just we have a place to go, do homework, chat, and get to know each other, and host our own events there. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a great summer. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Heidi, for coming with us. All right, back to Bree at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. A K-State student was involved in a hit-and-run incident on a motorcycle last week, and for those who ride and watch for motorists on two wheels, reporter Molly Hackett has some tips on how to keep safe while driving in Manhattan.
On April 22nd, a student was involved with a hit-and-run accident around 8 p.m. at the intersection of Denison Avenue and Claflin Road. Motorcyclist Jackson Willis has also had a close call.
Definitely on that four-way street by the gas station and Goodnow, just because some people don't pay attention. Mostly just people pulling out and not noticing you.
And when people don't pay attention, it can cause serious problems for riders since they don't have a traditional car to protect them.
Human beings fall, whether we fall off of a bicycle, a skateboard, a horse, or whatnot, we hit our bony parts. We hit knees, elbows, hips, shoulders, collarbones, heads, obviously. So that's the critical part that the manufacturers use to protect. That's why we have armor on the elbows, forearms, shoulders, that kind of stuff. It's very, very hard to hit your chest on the ground. It's very, very hard to hit your bicep on the ground. It's very, very easy to hit your elbows and shoulders and I hate to say bony parts. So
before your next ride, put the headphones and cell phone away. Put on closed-toed shoes. Put your headgear on. And your eye protection.
Another thing to remember is that wearing headphones while riding is against the law because it only adds to the distractions that most drivers already face on the road. So when you're out on the road, make sure to follow these tips.
All the drivers in town need to stay off the phones, pay attention to their driving, be courteous to other drivers, don't follow too close, slow down, obey all the laws and regulations that are on this roadway.
In Manhattan, Kansas, I'm Molly Hackett, Channel 8 News.
If you have any concerns or questions about how to remain safe, you can take a look on the Kansas Highway Patrol website for more information. We'll be expecting a lot of rain the next few weeks, so stay tuned for some flooding insurance information.
Throws it down! Wow! Oh my goodness, Steve! Way up above the rim of the flood! Derek Brown taking on Gildas Alexander. And he scores! Are you kidding? Kansas State is headed to the Elite Eight! Now throws it up the glass and it goes in! And in long for Peyton Williams! To the left, it's wide open for Reiki. Yes! Three-pointer! Goff gets the ball back, left baseline, 8-footer. Good! Frankie's answer three-pointer. It's good!
Your identity is who you are.
Feels pretty good. Hurts a little bit when I'm putting pressure on it, but not too bad.
What's your pain level at?
Probably like a 3.
Okay. So much better than yesterday.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right. Well, I'm going to start to slow it down now.
Okay.
Quickly, and along with that brings storms that can cause severe flooding. Our weather anchor, Bailey Short, has more on what kind of weather changes we can expect in the next week. Bailey?
Thanks, Taylor. Let's go ahead and take a look at the national weather this week. Up in the northern part of the United States, you can expect temperatures to be a little below average, and down in the south, temperatures are actually going to be a little above average. So you can tell over in Seattle, we've got about ranges temperatures in the 50 degrees. Down in Los Angeles area, California, you're going to expect temps in the mid 70s, low 70s. And then down in Texas area, Dallas, you're going to expect temperatures in the mid 70s up into the low 80s. And then over down in the Florida, Orlando area, you want to expect temperatures between 80s, mid 80s and low 80s with a little humidity over there. And then up in the New York area, you're going to expect temperatures in the low 70s, mid 70s. And then multiple waves of low pressure are expected throughout the Midwest and Northeast part of the country. This is going to enhance rainfall in areas such as Central Texas and Southern Illinois. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this is affecting Manhattan's 24-hour forecast. So this morning we did see some showers with a little cloudy, and then throughout the day it is going to continue to get sunnier with a high of 63 degrees. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weekend forecast and what you guys can expect. On Friday is going to be cloudy with 64 degrees, and then Monday you can expect more rain throughout the week. With that rain, there is an increased chance of flooding. So last year's Wildcat Creek flood damaged a lot of properties. Many of the owners later found out that they did not have flood insurance to cover that damage. Many of Manhattan residents live on a floodplain that has a chance of seeing high water retention. Those who live on the floodplain are required to have insurance through a national program called FEMA. However, residents who live on the edge are also at risk. Chad Bunger, Assistant Director of Community Development, explains the flood insurance program.
As long as we follow FEMA's rules for floodplain management, some other things, then anybody in the community can participate, be it if they're in a high-risk flood zone or not. Some property owners, because they're in a high-risk flood zone, and if they have a federally backed mortgage, they don't have an option. They have to get flood insurance.
That's all we have for weather today. Back to you, Bree.
Thanks, Bailey. See how twin athletes help each other in their collegiate and professional careers later in the show.
Oh, it's been like the best adventure of my life. Best, hands down. Don't tell my children I said that, but absolutely the best thing ever. I've had so much fun. I've learned so much, and I think the thing that I love most about this program, the expectations are just like that of a regular full-time program. There's discussions, there's discussion board posts, there's interaction with the instructors, just like you would have if you were on campus. I love it.
K-State track season is almost over, but for some athletes, they have more planned for their future. Also, a new change in Kansas sports will allow girls to compete in a unique sport that is typically geared toward males. Reporter Alec Madrigal has more. Alec.
Thanks, Bree. As one athlete's track season nears an end at Kansas State University, she still prepares to come back home in Jamaica, but she plans on having her good luck charm by her side, her sister.
For Renee McKenzie, her 4 years on the Kansas State track team have been some of the best of her life and are preparing her for an even bigger stage.
Hoping to go home to the Jamaica Senior Trial for the teams and make those teams, and then my biggest goal for 2019 is to go to the World Championship.
After growing up in Jamaica, living so far from home can be hard, but luckily she didn't have to do it alone. Her twin sister Shanae is also on the track team.
Like, we live together, we go out together, we do everything together. Like, it's just always a plus. Like, everything's better with my sister.
The McKenzie twins are nearing the end of their time at K-State. Renee is wrapping up her senior season with just one regular season competition and postseason to go. And Shanae has just one season of indoor competition left. But the two aren't leaving the team without making their mark.
Well, they've been very valuable contributors to the team the entire time that they've been here. Renee ran the second fastest time in school history in the 200 last week. Has been very valuable in 4x4s and sprint medleys, not to mention what she's done in the 400 hurdles. Shanae also has come a long way, but she's primarily just a high jumper.
For Renee and Shanae, this last collegiate season together has been priceless.
It was really fun being here. I have my best friend here with me to experience everything that I'm getting here from K-State.
While their time running together at K-State is coming to a close, these twin sisters plan to stick together for years to come. In Manhattan, I'm Anna Christensen, Channel 8 News.
The Wildcat track athletes are nearing the end of their season hosting this last meet of the regular season this weekend and will compete in the Big 12 Championship May 10th through May 12th. In order to be more inclusive, the state of Kansas is changing some things to the state wrestling rules. The Kansas State High School Athletics Association will be allowing for a separate girls wrestling league in high school. In the past, girls would be lumped in with boys wrestling, but not anymore. This will allow for girls to have their own championship divisions, which help promote a more fair competition. Manhattan High Schools hopes to have a large, thriving girls wrestling league starting next fall.
So we will have our young ladies enter and wrestle in competitions if they do want to compete against boys, or they may compete against girls. And we are going to help our girls by offering in our two tournaments a girls division. So we have a varsity tournament, we have a JV tournament. So we're going to open it up that girls could compete against girls.
That's all we have for sports. Now back to you, Taylor.
Thanks, Alec. Up next, Wamigos Tulip Festival is brightening the city, and Bailey will be back to tell us what we can expect weather-wise in the upcoming week.
Now throws it up the glass, and it goes in! And in one for Peyton Williams! To the left, it's wide open for Reiki. Yes! Three-pointer! Goff gets the ball back, left baseline, 8-footer. Good! Frankie's answer three-pointer. It's good!
The best-kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP's Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
We are a family that does not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
A family that represents a diverse and eclectic population.
We are
a family that believes
that diversity, inclusion,
and sportsmanship
are expectations.
We are a family that is supportive and seeks to promote a positive and welcoming environment.
A family that treats people with respect and dignity.
An empowered family.
Who empowers family.
We are family, diverse and together.
Oh, it's been like the best adventure of my life. Best, hands down. Don't tell my children I said that, but absolutely the best thing ever. I've had so much fun. I've learned so much, and I think the thing that I love most about this program, the expectations are just like that of a regular full-time program. There's discussions, there's discussion board posts, there's interaction with the instructors, just like you would have if you were on campus. I love it.
Left side 3 ball, yes! Throws it down! Wow! Oh my goodness, Steve! Way up above the rim and a block! Derek Brown taking on field as Alexander, and he scores! Are you kidding? Kansas State is headed to the Elite Eight!
Our weather anchor Bailey went to Wamego last weekend to check out the Tulip Festival.
Bailey, is this something my family should consider checking out next year?
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun, and it was a super fun, family-friendly event. There were a lot of people out in the community supporting the small businesses in Wamego.
Weekend, the Wamego community was booming with their annual Tulip Festival. Bringing in over 150 craft and art vendors, the event is able to give people in the community and surrounding areas an opportunity to show off their small businesses.
Oh, it's awesome because it showcases, small businesses and individual people, and gets them a chance to get their stuff out.
Every spring, the Wamego community comes alive for this special event. The Tulip Festival has become a huge part of the community, with everyone coming together to enjoy the newly blooming tulips and all the activities the festival has to offer. The festival is not only something for the community to enjoy, it also brings in people from many surrounding areas and even people from different states, giving the town of Wamego a chance to show off everything it has to offer.
Well, it brings a lot of people in, and it's very impressive. It's very nice. We enjoy it.
The festival has many different activities to give everyone something to enjoy. Some of the activities included inflatables that were available to all ages, rides on the Wamego City Park Children's Train, face paintings, character drawings, food trucks from throughout the region, dance performances by local studios, and much more.
Well, I saw a face painting booth, which I'm super into, but there was a big line with only children, so I was I'll let the children get their face painted first, and then I'll try to make my way in. It's I love a good face paint moment anytime.
The event was able to bring together people of all ages for a fun and exciting weekend. In Wamego, Bailey Short, Channel 8 News.
Headed into this weekend, Bailey, what can we expect weather-wise?
So this weekend, tomorrow you can expect cloudy weather with a high of about 63 degrees. And then on Saturday, it's actually going to be pretty nice out. Mostly sunny with a high of about 75 degrees. And then Sunday, we're going to go into more of a cloudy weather with about 67 degrees-ish. So if you do have plans this weekend, it is going to be a pretty nice weekend with limited rain. But going into next week, you will see a little more rain.
Thanks, Bailey. Yeah, with spring being in full force, my allergies have been going crazy. What about you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Me too. The allergies are really getting to you with the spring, with it being spring and all that. What about you, Taylor?
I get allergies, seasonal allergies, so try to stay on
That's
top
all
of that.
we have time for this week on Channel 8 News.
This is Channel 8 News.